In preparation for their Olympic qualifiers against Australia next month, the Tall Blacks will be competing in the Stankovic Cup over the next week. Their first game is against Russia this evening. A warm welcome. I'm Dennis Katsanos, joined by Tall Blacks assistant coach Dylan Boucher. I guess first things first, Dylan, what is the Stankovic Cup?
Yeah, the Stankovic Cup is a tournament, basically a pre-tournament for a build-up. I mean, New Zealand's building for the Oceania champs, Angola's building for the African champs, Russia, the European, or they're building for the University Games, and China are building for the Asian champs. So it's just basically a warm-up tournament, and it's the name Boris Stankovic comes from basically a guy who is a player, a coach, and an admin guy that they're just basically honouring him, and it's an annual tournament.
Well, thank you very much, Dylan. Yes, how will the Tall Blacks fare in their first match at the Stankovic Cup? In commentary this evening, it's Lieutenant Dan Hennessy.
Well, thank you so much, Dennis. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The 2011 Boris Stankovic Cup from Zhejiang, China, as the Tall Blacks look here to use the ball first. Now, Dylan, a shorter team here. We don't have the Craig Bradshaw, we don't have Steve Adams, but we've got quickness on our side here tonight. Absolutely,
a lot of quickness on our side. This Russian team will be a very good team, even though it is a University Games team. They will be coming out and they'll be running a lot of stuff at the Tall Blacks, and expect some good things out of this Russian team. They've got a very good program in Russia, and the Tall Blacks will be tested, especially early on in this tournament.
Zastev with a travel there, as it's good to see Lindsay Tate getting the starting nod at the point. Had an epic season here for the domestic league for the Wellington Saints here in New Zealand. Kirk Penny, he's known all around the world for his scoring. Penny's gonna launch a three, puts it up, and will nail it. First shot of the game for Kirk Penny goes down.
Yeah, Tall Blacks running early offense for Kirk Penny, you know, as expected, you know, one of the premier players in New Zealand, and expect to see a lot of plays run for him.
Now look for the big 2.15 meter guy with the ball right there, number 7, Kasparov. 31 points against the Aussies and 13 rebounds. 1 second left on the shot clock. That is left well short. Fletcher with the rebound. Here come the Tall Blacks.
Lindsay Tate with the turnover, just forcing things a little bit at the moment. Nerves a little bit out there.
Fantastic block coming back by Thomas Abercrombie.
Alex Pledger with the mismatch down low.
Will he take advantage down in the paint, and there will be a foul here. Now, Dylan, only one 2.15 meter fella here for the Russians. Should we use the likes of Lindsay Tate, Mark Dickel to run at him, maybe get some early fouls on him?
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be going at him. They'll be testing out, see if they can pick up some early fouls on him to get him off the court. But they do have a couple of backups that are reasonably big, but you'll probably see a lot of Alex Pledger popping out, making the big guy come out and defend on-ball screens. That's basically a strength of the Tall Blacks, is being able to draw the big guys out of the lane and free up the lane a little bit for the likes of Lindsay Tate and Kirk Penny and Tom Abercrombie to go in and penetrate.
Alex Pledger will miss both free throws. And Russia here looking to press. And again, Lindsay Tate, with what a season he had. Alex Pledger was the MVP of that domestic league. So again, re-unleashing these two players on the Russians.
Yeah, that's something Russia do very well. They use the on-ball screens. The point guard comes off, uses the on-ball well. Lindsay Tate didn't quite get over quick enough, and sure enough, they hit the two-pointer.
Shot goes askew there for Kirk Penny, and away come the Russians here.
A couple early turnovers for Russia again.
Yep.
They played in a tournament last week. They shouldn't have too many nerves. The Tall Blacks, remembering, only just got off the plane a day or so ago, so they'll be feeling it probably going into this game later on. They'll be feeling the legs, a little bit jet lag maybe.
Great play by Lindsay Tate. Mika Vakona into the game now for the Tall Blacks. Finds Kirk Penny here, 19 on the shot clock. Plenty of time here for the Tall Blacks. And we got a bit of a niggle there. Down low with Mika Vakona.
Foul called on Vakona, offensive foul. Saw the mismatch on the guard. Wanted to push his way down, but sure enough, got called for the offensive foul.
Mika Vakona trying to get into the head of Savelyev here early. Around the outskirts here for the Russians. Kasparov. Nice little floater down low, could not get it to go, but there's Kasparov, and he will munch up that low post, and Alex Pledger is going to have his hands full with that one, Dylan.
Yeah, it's not very often you see Alex Pledger, you know, somebody taller than him on the court, but he's going to have to get his box outs going on and make sure he doesn't get anything easy for Kasparov.
Lindsay Tate will get the ball stripped. Away come the Russians. They are on the run.
Great job by Tom Abercrombie,
Yes.
challenging the shot, make sure there's no easy two, send him to the line, make him earn 2 free throws.
Savelyev going to the line for the Russians here. Here's the replay.
So this Russian team, Dan, they're preparing for the university games, which will be held in China in a week's time. And believe it or not, the Russian team that the All Blacks are playing will actually be facing the New Zealand university team.
And I think it's important to mention, too, this is not the Russian team that beat the All Blacks in last year's World Champs. This is a different team altogether. Timothy Moskoff, who played for the New York Knicks, now with the Nuggets, with that giant trade with Carmelo Anthony, is not on this team. It's a whole different team altogether. But at the end of the day, you try and field your best team you have for this Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. This is by no means a weak team. This is the depth in Russian basketball is great. As you can see there, pick in the backcourt on Abercrombie.
And they'll make him pay as Thomas Abercrombie playing the point for some reason on that passage of play. Gets it picked.
You're seeing, you know, full court man-to-man being picked up, full court, making the guards have to handle it, taking the ball out of Lindsay Tate's hands.
Kirk Penny, long three, nails it again from straight on downtown. Kirk Penny with the trifecta.
Yeah, if there's one thing you don't want to do, is leave Kirk Penny open for three. And again, they gambled, went for the steal.
Shot from Igor Simjin goes in.
Looking like pretty friendly rims here, Dan.
Yep, Igor Simjin scored 17 points off the bench for the Russians against the Aussies. Let's not forget, Russia did beat the Boomers in double overtime in this very tournament here. Alex Pledger. Abercrombie. Inside it goes. Penny to Pledger, couldn't feed him. Kashinov will pick that off, and here come the Russians once again.
Turnover's really hurting the All Blacks right now. Sloppy passing.
Russians look at defeated inside. Kashinov with it at the moment, working on Pledger. Spins and will draw a foul.
Late whistle by the referee there. There's a good camera shot of how big this guy Kasparov really is, making Alex Pledger look like a small guy out there.
2.15 meters, ladies and gentlemen. A big unit indeed.
This guy is the real deal. He had 31 points and 13 rebounds just last week against Australia. So this is a big man who can play basketball. We're going to have our hands full with this guy.
Second shot will go in as well for Anatoly Kasparov. And away comes Kirk Penny for the All Blacks, looking to fight above their weight here against a very formidable Russian team. There's Abercrombie on the roll for three, nothing but net for Thomas Abercrombie.
The All Blacks have definitely got the outside game going on. Not too much happening inside at the moment. They can't rely on the three-point shot to carry them for the whole game.
The Russians spin it around. And beautiful shot there, that will go down.
Lindsay Tate's going to have to do a better job getting over those on-ball screens. He's leaving this man to have the pull-up jump shot. Alex Pledger's forcing him into the jump shot. And Lindsay Tate's going to have to get over and fight through that.
Russia very well known for their on-ball screen play.
Great pass by Bacona. Pledger unable to handle it.
There is Lindsay Tate. That one will rim out, three-point attempt. Savelyev now with it for the Russians, looking to press. 13-9, 4:46 left to go here in the first. This is the Boris Stankovic Cup 2011 coming to you from Zhejiang, China. And there he is, the big unit will get to Kashinov.
On-ball screen is really hurting the All Blacks right now. Lindsay Tate again getting screened by the big Kasparov, rolling, easy pass, finish over Alex Pledger.
Abercrombie with it. Kirk Penny off to Spain, no longer playing for the New Zealand Breakers. We wish him the best of luck. Pledger had that mid-range jumper all season long. Nice leaner in there from Abercrombie, no good. Pledger gets the rebound, shot no good, gets another rebound, puts it up. Didn't look likely. There is Mika Vacona down low, and he will be fouled. And it looks good on the offensive boards right now for the All Blacks.
Yeah, that's what they've got to do. You know, they've got to get in there, mix it up on the offensive boards. How ironic, falling into Vacona's hands, shows his strength, catches it in one hand, holds the guy off, gets the and one. We'll go to the free throw line to convert the three-point play.
All of 6'5", but whenever Mika Vacona plays, no matter where he plays on the planet, he will be stuffing the stats chart as far as rebounds goes. How he does it, no one knows, but it happens.
Absolutely, he's one of the best in the world at doing it.
And he will convert the three-point play.
Mark Dickel into the game now for Lindsay Tate.
Replacing speed with speed again. Mark Dickel, Casey Frank pulling a Steely Dan, reeling back the years, playing fantastic basketball, the two of them.
Absolutely, you know, got a wealth of experience in Mark Dickel, some great leadership out there.
Shot from outside, and that one will go.
Abercrombie helping off his man. Kalinov able to knock down the three-point shot. Again, Tall Blacks are probably helping a little bit more than what they need to at the moment.
Nice stroke from Gubanov. Shot from outside, Casey Frank will not be converted. Gubanov with the rebound and away come the Russians. And we have a foul called on the play.
Tall Blacks, remembering, have just come off a week-long trial camp, so the bodies will be a little bit tired. You know, it was a pretty intense camp. There'll be a few weary bodies out there, you know, come later on in this game. But, you know, the idea of it is all preparation to play Australia for the Olympic qualifier.
Nice shot down low.
Kalinov again, hits a three the last play. This time gets an easy layup.
Casey Frank with it for the Tall Blacks. Holds it up. Mika Vacona now on the outskirts. He'll put it up himself. That's a little bit out of range from Mika. And that one skipped off the front of the rim, and the Russians look to press now with an 8-point lead.
A little bit out of sync at the moment, the Tall Blacks.
And this will be a turnover a Russian way, and yes, Abercrombie will get it to Kirk Penny. Kirk Penny off the glass with a nice kiss for two.
Great job by Abercrombie, drawing the man in. Easy feed to Penny, Penny for an easy two. I'll tell you what, Kirk Penny can sniff out points. You know, as soon as there was a turnover, he was the first man down the court, finishes, gets the easy 2 points, but you know, you take it for granted. That takes a lot of energy and a lot of nous to be able to get that and get that easy two.
He's also the master, Dylan, at drawing the foul on the opposition.
Absolutely, you know, he's earned a lot of respect in the international basketball, so he's going to be one of those people who the referees target as one of the better players on the court, so he's going to be able to draw those fouls when he goes to the hoop. Leon Henry into the game now, had a great New Zealand NBL season.
Another Tall Black waiting to blossom here. Savelyev, Golovin, picked off by Leon Henry. Tall Blacks on the push. Casey Frank.
BJ Anthony also in the game.
Epic play last year for BJ Anthony against one Nathan Jawa as Penny launches one from downtown, and why not? Kurt Penny has not missed a shot yet here tonight.
Hasn't missed a shot. I don't think he's even hit the rim tonight.
Tall Blacks now only down by 3 points. Shot from outside, and that is nothing but money for Simjin, Igor Simjin with another three.
Tall Blacks doing a good job on the on-ball screen now, but again, helping where they don't need to.
Penny again launches it. That one's well off, but there is Leon Henry. BJ Anthony saves it, and we'll get a fresh shot clock. Will the Tall Blacks?
Great presence on the boards right now for the Tall Blacks. Good to see BJ Anthony keeping the ball alive.
Tall Blacks are owning the offensive boards at the moment. Casey Frank launches a three. Off the front of the rim, there's BJ Anthony with another offensive rebound, and they're killing the Russians on the O boards.
BJ Anthony got a mismatch inside, wants the ball. Nice pass, Casey Frank. BJ Anthony just doing a great job. 2 offensive rebounds, right there, gets a mismatch and draws the foul.
He's got that great drop step, and again, he absolutely owned Nathan Jawa last year in the Oceania Championship. People thought Nathan Jawa didn't play for the Boomers this tournament because of the NBA lockout. It was because of the BJ Anthony blockout.
BJ Anthony's one of those guys who thrives in international basketball. You know, he just wants that opportunity to prove how good he can be. And international basketball is one of those stages where, you know, you're playing against the world's best, nothing to lose.
Corey Webster also into the game as BJ Anthony with a nice hook shot there. We'll get two. Corey Webster took last year off due to certain indiscretions, did everything right this year, back on the court for the Tall Blacks. Played fantastically once again for the domestic team, the Wellington Saints, the champion Wellington Saints.
Yeah,
nice stroke.
Really hurt Corey Webster missing out on the World Championships last year, and you're right, he's had put his head down this year. He's worked extremely hard and has definitely deserved a spot on this Tall Black team, and let's just hope he can make the most of it.
Zastev with a two-pointer for the Russians here. 25-19, 31 seconds left in the first. Shot off, but there's BJ Anthony with another rebound, offensive styles. And Mark Dicker will slow things down here for the Tall Blacks.
BJ Anthony, again, just doing a fantastic job on the boards, making work for every possession, getting extra possessions for the Tall Blacks.
Casey Frank launches one and will nail it from downtown. The three ball from Casey Frank.
Yeah, that's obviously one of Casey's strengths, is the shooting the ball, but also his leadership on this team is unquestionable.
And we have the end of the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen, and an entertaining one indeed. As the Tall Blacks are right in this one with Russia.
I think Nenad Vucinic will be talking about the defense, how to guard the on-ball screens and not helping too much off the corners. Russia are shooting the ball extremely well, so they want to stick to their man and just make two men defend the on-ball screen. Then if they can take care of that, then it's going to go a long way to opening up transition baskets for them down the other end.
Now, nobody really in any serious foul trouble here, Dylan, but let's bring that up. Is there a huge difference to the refereeing that we normally see to the referees that are in these international tournaments?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a big feel-out period in the game. You know, it's all about what the referees are going to call. And obviously, a lot of the referees are from different places in the world, so they have different things they key in on, and it's all about how well each team can adjust.
Well, here's some highlights here. Thomas Abercrombie showing that he does have the wingspan of a pterodactyl.
That's that on-ball screen I'm talking about,
Yep.
You know, easy screen, guy comes off with an easy layup.
And you're right, ball security, you would have to think, is a little bit of a problem for the Tall Blacks in that first quarter with about 5 or 6 turnovers.
Yeah, it is right now, and if they can minimize those turnovers, then they'll be right back in this game. And even with the turnovers they have, it's only a 3-point ball game. But what they're going to have to do is tighten up their defense. That's where the problems are occurring right now. A few mismatches, not getting over screens. It's causing them the easy shots.
And on the Russian side of the ball, Dylan, you would have to think that, well, the offensive rebounds are killing the Russians at the moment.
Yeah, again, you talked about only really one true big guy out there. You know, he's obviously doing his job on his man, but the others aren't doing the job. BJ Anthony coming in and exploiting that, and you'll see extended minutes from him. If he can continue to do that and keep the ball alive, then he'll be getting more and more minutes, because that's giving the Tall Blacks extra possessions.
Again, both teams only have one legitimate big man. You would think that one team would try to get the other team's big man in foul trouble early, running the guards at them. But I think also we haven't seen it yet in this game is Alex Pledger's mid-range game, anywhere from 9 to 18 feet. Alex Pledger, again, all season long, dropping them.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex Pledger can shoot the ball from the outside, and that's something Coach Vucinic will be telling him. If Kasharov is going to sit in the lane and help on everybody else, you have to step out and hit that shot, as Casey Frank just did on that last highlight.
Second quarter is upon us. Russia with the ball. And they will maintain possession here with 16 seconds on the shot clock.
BJ Anthony disrupting the play, getting a hand on the ball. Mike Fitcher now checked into the game. You know, Nenad Vucinic really rotating his players right now, making sure everybody stays fresh.
Russia with it.
Great defense,
Yes.
BJ Anthony.
Fantastic work.
These are the little things the Tall Blacks rely on to be successful at international tournaments, is this work rate of BJ Anthony.
8 on the shot clock for the Russians. Savelyev finds a lane, puts it in, does not get the roll, however. BJ Anthony with a D board, and Tall Blacks on the press now.
Casey Frank had a mismatch inside. Mike Fitcher missed it.
Leon Henry puts up a 3. Goes askew, not to be, and away comes Savelyev with the ball here for Russia. 3-point ball game.
Great help, Leon Henry.
And that is a 3 by Igor Simjin. Nice work from him, left wide open. Coach Vucinic is wondering why he had all day out there on the perimeter.
Yeah, Russia doing a very good job of controlling the tempo on the offense, being very deliberate in what they do out there. Russians are switching all the screens now, which is it's ironic, because this is exactly a Russian senior team that played at the World Champs against the Tall Blacks. That was their game plan, to switch all on-ball screens and make us go to the mismatches. And it seems like their coaches had a little word to the university coach and told them to do the same.
Corey Webster hits a three, trading Penny for Webster in the shooting guard position. That's fire for fire right there. As we've got a foul called on the play, Zastev on his way into the basket, going baseline, gets fouled.
Very, very poised. You got to love the way the Russian style of basketball. Very poised. As soon as you get your feet out of place, they attack you. As soon as you help in the wrong spot, they find that open man.
11 on the shot clock for the Russians. Nice little kiss off the glass. Again, a very unkind rim here for the Russians on that south end of the stadium.
BJ Anthony, again, doing a great job of rotating, helping out. Great screen, Leon Henry.
Foul called on the play. But great ball movement and good looks. You'd have to say the Tall Blacks are getting on Russia. They just got to convert.
Absolutely. They're getting open looks. It's all about knocking them down. The same on the other end. Russia's getting too many open looks, and they're making the Tall Blacks pay for helping from the wrong areas.
Savelyev will take a little bit of a break here. The point guard for the Russians. Still a three-point game. Great fake there. Couldn't convert. Casey Frank with the rebound. Away comes Michael Fitchett. Keep an eye on Michael Fitchett at the end of quarters and the end of halves. He's been known to sting the Aussies from well beyond the arc on multiple occasions.
A great pass, Casey Frank.
Yes. And
great finish, Leon Henry.
Nice.
The Wellington Saints combination working there. Leon Henry had an extremely good trial and extremely good camp. He'd shoot the ball really, really well, and looks for him to sit in those corners, stretch the defense, and knock it down if the help's off him.
Again, another Tall Black waiting to blossom as he gets a steal there. Good ball movement from him. Will he go coast to coast? He will attempt it, but will be fouled on the way in. Leon Henry.
Yeah, Leon Henry is one of those players. He's been sitting in the wings, waiting for his Tall Black call-up. He's been playing extremely well in the New Zealand NBL, and he's probably been forced out of the team by some other players playing a little bit better, but now he's been given his opportunity. He's making the most of it.
Number 5, Golovin into the game for Russia. As Leon leaves the first throw from the charity stripe, a little short.
You can just see at the free throw line, the free throws are a little bit off, and it's probably legs are a little bit weary, like I talked about earlier with the jet lag. Oh, great job, Casey Frank.
Great box out there. Who's got the ball? It's anyone's ball. Russia will end up with it, and they're on the run here. Just sitting on a 1-point lead now. 7:05 left to go till halftime. As the Russians have no answer for the Tall Blacks' offensive rebounds at the moment. Great pass. And that's a three spot from downtown. Beautiful stuff from Gubanov.
Doing a great job of stretching the Tall Blacks defense again. Helping from the wrong spot, making them pay, sitting in those corners, knocking down the threes.
Leon Henry puts up a three ball, not to be. He is determined to get his stroke going from beyond the arc, is Leon Henry.
It's important, you know, although there was an air ball, it was a good shot to take. You've got to stick with that and make sure he continues to knock those shots down. BJ
Anthony with a block down low. Look at this, watch out, Leon Henry with a little maliciousness going toward that rack. Great feed from Corey Webster, he'll be going to the line.
Yeah, great job, Corey Webster, drawing the foul, dishing off to Leon Henry, slipping on a wet spot at the same time. Again, Leon Henry's having a big impact in this game. We hear ourselves saying his name a lot, and that's a good sign from a player coming in, being very active on the court.
High guard rotation here for the Tall Blacks as Lindsay Tate back into the game. We've already seen Fitchett, we've already seen Mark Dickel. And you have to say thus far, as we see Isaac Foto into the game now for the Tall Blacks. Young teenager, tell us a little bit about him, Dylan. Yeah,
great to see Isaac in the game early. You know, he's testing out his nerves. He's a very, very talented, very polished basketball player. He's got all the tools. It's about him going out now and expressing himself on this international stage, showing what he's got. On debut, Dan, so have a few nerves out there for sure.
Nice little leaning floater there. Gets 2 points. Great work from Marty Jonas.
Again, just getting caught, guilty of being caught on the on-ball screen again, hitting a nice little pull-up jump shot over Alex Bledger just outside the lane. Great screen from Fotu. Oh, offensive foul caught on Corey Webster, extending the arm, pushing the player off.
He has been guilty of that a few times.
Yeah, well, one thing the Russian team does, and a lot of the European teams do, is they sell it. Look at that.
Yeah.
You know, very good acting job, making the referee make it look a little bit worse than what it was. But again, great defense, making the ref have to call a foul.
Good acting work by Igor Simjin. 5:38 left to go until halftime. A tight encounter. Russia puts it up, and again, not a kind bounce, and Alex Pledger rips down that rebound. Away come the Tall Blacks once again. Lindsay Tate finds Alex Pledger. Pledger goes to penetrate, little fade away from him. Off the backboard, could not convert. Russians on the push now.
It's not what you want to see from your big man, fading away from the hoop. They'll be wanting to attack the hoop.
Great ball skills there, but could not convert. An offensive rebound, however. And, well, Russia will walk away with 2 more points there. Fantastic stuff.
Golovin just ripping it out of Kirk Penny's hands, making the easy 2.
Lindsay Tate momentarily losing the handle. 11 on the shot clock for the Tall Blacks. Nice pass off the glass, and Pledger could not get it to go either. Shooting now percentage is starting to fall a little bit to the wayside for both teams.
Yeah, Tall Blacks just, you know, probably guilty of just not knocking down those easy shots that they were at the start of the game.
Pledger with another rebound.
Pledger doing a great job swallowing up all those defensive rebounds.
Lindsay Tate double teamed, and he will be fouled. Great help defense, though, by the Russians.
Yeah, Smidgen there, just doing a great job. Seeing Lindsay Tate fumble the ball, really attacked it. Unfortunately, got called for the foul.
And there's 2 points.
Smart play by Lindsay Tate.
Very smart.
It's all about Lindsay Tate. He's really grown as a basketball player, as we've seen him grow over the years. Again, coming up with crafty little plays like that.
Nice, smooth release there. Zastev.
Russia's really hurting the Tall Blacks right now with the ability to just run the on-ball screen. Alex Pledger's a little bit deep in the lane, giving them the pull-up jump shot, and they're knocking it down and making the Tall Blacks pay for the type of defense they're playing.
Lindsay Tate, will he penetrate? He'll find Alex Pledger for that mid-ranger off the back of the iron. But that's the kind of shot, and look, that Alex Pledger's been sinking all season long in the New Zealand National Basketball League. Shot high off the glass, beautiful work indeed by number 11, Igor Simjin.
They're just so polished in this on-ball screen, and again, European basketball is all about on-ball screens and making reads off the on-ball screens.
Kirk Penny from the car park. It rattles around, it doesn't go home. Big defensive board there by the Russians. They're looking now, they got a 10-point spread, looking to inflict a little more damage here on the Tall Blacks. Scooping shot, what a shot indeed that was, and it will go down for number 11, Igor Simjin.
Now that was Nelyubov with the left-hand little skyhook shot. Again, try to get Pledger in the air, didn't buy the fake, but finished over top of him anyway. Then Vucinic calling a timeout. He's not happy with the defense that's been played by the Tall Blacks. Russia pushing out to a 12-point lead.
41-29, Russia ahead of the Tall Blacks at the moment. But you have to think, without those offensive rebounds, Russia would really be inflicting a lot of damage on the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, BJ Anthony, you probably look to see him come back in the game soon and try and get back on the offensive glass. But what the Tall Blacks are doing is they're settling for the three-point shot or the outside shot. And then you get something going to the hoop that'll free up the three-pointers later on in the game. What Russia are doing a great job on the other hand, are penetrating, getting in the lane, forcing Alex Pledger to have to make a decision, either hitting the jump shot or the point guards dishing off to the big man and finishing inside on Alex Pledger. You'll probably see now with Nenad here talking, he's probably going to be talking about changing up the way they defend the on-ball screens. Hopefully if the Tall Blacks can key in on what he's saying, they'll be able to slow this Russian team down a little.
And we haven't seen much of Kasharov here in the second quarter. 2.15 meter center for the Russians. He's kind of taking that second quarter off.
Well, you've seen a great job there by Nelyubov and also Smidgen doing a great job inside as well. So, you know, they're saying, why do we need the big fella when the other slightly bigger guys, slightly smaller guys are getting the job done on the bigger Alex Pledger.
Tall Blacks with the rock.
Look for Penny to come back off here for a shot.
There he is, and there it goes, up and off the front of the rim. Could not convert, but Abercrombie will tip it off to Lindsay Tate. He'll put up a three, and we will have a foul called on the play.
Absolutely, Zaystev just a little bit guilty of trying to get too much of a hand up on Lindsay Tate. Caught him on the arm as he was shooting a three-point shot. He'll go to the line for 3 shots.
Coach killer, right, Dylan?
It is a coach killer, but sometimes those can pay off and you can be going down the other end and laying it up. Sometimes that little touch of the elbow can just be enough to affect the shooter. Just saw there the coach telling him, keep your hands straight up. Don't try and block the shot. A lot of times with guards are guilty. They want to be shot blockers like the big men, so they see their opportunity and they jump at it. But it backfires like in this case.
Well, 2 out of 3 is not too shabby there for Lindsay Tate as he bats the ball out of bounds. Russia will get the ball.
Mika Vakona keeping that ball alive. And then Lindsay Tate also getting a hand on it, but just couldn't quite reel it in.
Back to a 10-point spread. In the shadows at halftime, 2:29 left to go until then. Russia with the ball. Simjin with a little hook shot, no good. There's Mika Vakona with a deep board, and a big one indeed for the Tall Blacks as Kirk Penny surveys the court. Mika Vakona on a rolling Abercrombie. Pledger. Foul off the ball, down low. That'll be a number 4, Savelyev.
Alex Pledger's man is just sitting off him in the lane. Alex Pledger's going to either have to knock the jump shots down or they're going to have to force their hand and sub him out of the game. And it looks like Casey Frank coming into the game now. They're doing exactly that. Casey Frank has just hit a 3-point shot earlier. They're going to stretch the defense to come out and play him. Otherwise, he's going to knock the shot down from the outside.
Igor Simjin has inflicted his will in the first half here. Getting on the stat sheet quite a bit. Mika Vakona hits the first.
The 4-man for the Tall Blacks doing a great job. BJ Anthony did a great job when he's in. Mika Vakona's doing a great job now he's back in. And Casey Frank as well stepped in and did a great cameo role, subbing in for Alex Pledger.
And Mika will hit them both here, and that will help them out. Last 4 points in a row for the Tall Blacks, 33-41, just over 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Very experienced lineup in for the Tall Blacks at the moment. Obviously, Vucinic calling on his experience, making sure these guys can do the job out there. Switching defense, doing a great job.
Foul called on Kirk Penny. I think the Russian might have slipped on the floor in any event. Kirk will be pinged with his first foul.
Yeah, it's always a coach killer as well. When you're playing great D for that long on the shot clock, just puts his hand slightly on him, but the guy slips and it makes it look a lot worse than what it is.
Timing is everything. Savelyev with it. For the Russians, 10 on the shot clock. Working on Casey Frank, bit of a mismatch. In the corner it goes, on the baseline. 3-pointer will go down. Fantastic stuff from Gubanov.
Absolutely, doing a great job, again, stretching the defense. So often he can hit that shot in the corner, and he's done so in this game. Making the Tall Blacks pay again. Mismatch for Vakona inside.
That ball will be knocked out of bounds by the Russians. The Tall Blacks will maintain possession.
Great defense.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, unsportsmanlike foul by Abercrombie. Again, a little bit frustrated at the steal. Went to foul hard, but unfortunately, Steve got the better of him and go to the free throw line for 2 shots, and they'll get the ball again at halfway. It's good aggression by Abercrombie, but it also, you have to be a little bit smarter with that aggression. And you know, in international basketball, they're very, very quick to call the unsportsmanlike foul to keep the game nice and clean.
And don't expect to get any calls go your way in this tournament. And let's not forget, tomorrow night, it doesn't get any easier for the Tall Blacks as they take on the host nation, China.
Absolutely, the Tall Blacks have definitely got their hands full in this tournament, and it's a great build-up again. All these games are really trying to help New Zealand build towards the big goal, which is beating Australia in the Oceania qualifying series for the Olympics.
Savelyev has it for the Russians. Casey Frank playing good defense. Savelyev goes all the way to the cup and will be fouled on the way in.
Yeah, All Blacks doing a good job switching, but the Russian guards are doing a great job exploiting the big man, marking them and attacking the hoop. Exactly what you want your guards to do in that case there. Savelyev doing a great job against Casey Frank, attacking the rim. Casey Frank got beat, had to make up for it with a foul, sent him to the line for 2. This Russian team is a great shooting team, Dan. Anytime they get an open look, they're pretty much making the All Blacks pay.
1 from 2 from Savelyev from the line. 46-33, just over a minute to go in the first half. As we've got a kick ball, will be All Blacks possession still. Mark Dickel with it, top of the key. Kirk Penny looking to draw a foul, spins, puts it up. That will be a long 2.
Kirk Penny doing a great job shooting the ball in this game, and he just needs some guys to come with him. He's leading by the front, he's the captain of this team, and he's leading from the front.
Playing phenomenally, Kirk Penny, as he normally does every time he puts on that black singlet. Shot in the corner, no good. Abercrombie with the rebound.
All Blacks will look to use all the clock here.
13 seconds on the shot clock. Shot off, no good. The Russians might get the last opportunity for points here in the first half. Simjian will slow it down.
Look for the All Blacks to be switching here on the on-ball screens.
Savelyev with it. Feeds it inside. Shot high off the glass, not to be from Kasharov.
Yeah, Kirk Penny got wheeled down by the big guy, ended up having to give up the foul. Russians doing a great job exploiting the mismatches on the court.
.15-meter Kasharov at the line here for the Russians, as they are shooting a high percentage. In this first half, you're right, Dylan. Every time they seem to be open, All Blacks are paying.
Yeah, that's right. A Russian team doing a great job. Again, just stretching the defense, making them pay for it.
Second one is off the mark, and it's got to go up from half court. Abercrombie puts it up, not to be, but at the end of the first half, you would have to say Russia kind of flexing their muscles, Dylan, really hitting the shots when they have open looks.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you've seen the All Blacks, they came out firing early, and now their legs are looking a little bit weary, and now again, look at that second quarter score, 22-13 to Russia.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, end of the first half here, New Zealand 35, Russia 47. We'll see you after the break.
Welcome back to our coverage of the Stankovic Cup. I'm Dennis Katsanos with Dylan Boucher. New Zealand trailing Russia 47-35 at the half. And Dylan, I think probably the exploitation of the mismatches would be the key to the Russians' advantage at this point.
Yeah, All Blacks are being forced to have to switch on the on-ball screens because they were getting hurt early on. And again, the All Blacks are getting punished because they're switching, the big man getting caught on the guard, and then all of a sudden they're penetrating or kicking to the big guy flaring out for a shot.
Something I heard you mention in commentary is the Russians are sweet shooters, and in terms of their stats, 62 in terms of field goals and 71% from three-point land, as opposed to the All Blacks at around 35 for both those stats. So really the key difference between them is the Russians just nailing everything they look at.
Yeah, the Russians, absolutely. The Russians are basically killing them. You know, they're making them pay. You know, they're stretching the defence, they're forcing help where it doesn't need to be, and then all of a sudden, who pops out? A Russian guy wide open and knocks the shot down. And again, if we're going to give them open looks, they're going to make us pay.
Is it our D or their creation?
A bit of both. You know, they're very good at creating shots for themselves, and at the same time, time, the Tall Blacks, their defence is a step behind, and again, that's what they'll be talking about at half-time, is how they defend those on-ball screens.
Kirk Penny has been trying to lead from the front, but in terms of supporting cast, the rest of the Tall Blacks are a little bit quiet, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. Kirk is leading from the front. He is the captain of this team, and he's saying, follow my lead, guys, I've done this all before, but at the same time, no one's going with him.
Dylan, if we have a look at some of the highlights from this first half of the competition, really, we know the Russians like to get out to a bit of an early lead. They managed to do so, but the Tall Blacks right in it, and Kirk Penny keeping them in it. Yeah,
they did a great job, Tall Blacks earlier, staying in it again, behind a great defensive job by Abercrombie, but by Kirk Penny shooting alone kept them in this game. We needed some big efforts, and BJ Anthony stepped up with some great offensive rebounds, but right there, classic case, on-ball screen, coming off wide open in the lane and taking the easy shot.
Would it be fair to say there seems to be a lot more patience with in general, the European style, and the Russians seem to be taking their time to get those good looks?
Yeah, that is the European style of basketball, as they do. They take their time, they're very deliberate in what they do, and they read the defence. Where are they helping from? And they make you pay, you know, they make you forced to help whether you don't want to have to help, and then that leaves somebody open, and they find that open guy. And again, the Tall Blacks have got to do a better job defensively to not force that hand at having to help.
Yes, and I'm very glad that the referee didn't give Kirk Penny a charge when he gave that nice young man a shove there to score his three. But yeah, but fantastic work, not only from Kirk Penny. Thomas Abercrombie, he could pick up in the second half, couldn't he?
Yeah, we hope so. I mean, you know, Tom's been fantastic for the Tall Blacks last year at the World Championships, coming off a great Breakers season and New Zealand NBL season with the Pistons. So he's going to be wanting to step up in this game and perform a little bit better than what he did in the first half.
What gives me a little bit of discomfort is that you've got someone like Kasparov on the bench, so the Russian team seem to be coping no problem. And if the Tall Blacks do peg it back, you know, start closing up this deficit, you put someone like him on, and he is a little bit hard to handle, even when you've got someone the size of Alex Pledger.
Yeah, it's very rare you see, you know, Alex Pledger, you know, have a guy bigger than him on the court, but the fact that he's sitting on the bench is because the other guys are doing a great job. You know, they're coming in and they're stretching the defence by making them shoot from the outside rather than rolling to the hoop. So, you know, I think as long as they can keep doing the job, then, you know, he'll continue to sit on the bench, and Alex Pledger will have smaller guys to chase around.
Dylan, putting your assistant coach's hat on, what do you think Nenad would be saying? Like, look, the Tall Blacks aren't out of this, and that's the beauty of basketball. 12 points is absolutely nothing. It's 4 threes.
Yeah, end of the day, the Tall Blacks aren't too worried about the result here. They're more worried about the execution of offence and defensive execution. So right now, the coach will just be talking about, hey, guys, lock in defensively, and if they can lock them down defensively, then the offence will come. And again, it's game one of a tour with weary legs. They're not going to be too worried.
Dylan Isaac, photo, I want to mention him. You know, Rangitoto College, he gets a call up for the Tall Blacks. You mentioned that he might be a little bit nervous, but he'd have massive butterflies, wouldn't he?
Oh, it's fantastic. You know, have a guy like him on the court. You know, he gets out there and he's getting amongst playing against these men, you know, and he's played against boys his whole life. So, you know, he's going to be buzzing out there. But at the same time, it's forget about high school. You're there playing with men. You're international basketball. You've got to perform. And how well he does tonight will depend on how many minutes he gets in the following games and against Australia.
Talking with Pera Cameron and Vucinic on the phone before this game, they're saying you're a little bit jealous of his hairdo.
Yeah, you know, I used to be able to grow hair like that, but not anymore. And he's got a fantastic hairdo, and we're going to see a great hair-off between him and one of the Angolan players later on in this tournament.
Very, very distinctive. So, Dylan, our way to get back into this match?
Yeah, defence. It's got to come from the defensive end, and if they can do it on the defensive end, then definitely it's going to be able to be done. But if they continue to give up easy points and easy shots, then it's going to be a long battle for the Tall Blacks.
On a positive, they have corrected those turnovers, haven't they? There was about 6 in that first quarter, and for you know, in the whole half, 7. So, yeah, I mean, just 1 in that second quarter. So yeah, they've addressed that.
If they can address the turnover problem, which they had, and like you say, early on the first quarter, then you know it'll go a long way again to pegging this lead back. And it's only 12 points. It's not a big lead, but at the same time, it can stretch out even more if they don't continue to play defence and take care of the ball.
All right, will the Tall Blacks be able to force their way back into this match? Do stay with us after the break.
For details.
47-35 is the score between Russia and New Zealand in Russia's favour in the opening match of the Stankovic Cup. Dennis Katsanos with Tall Blacks assistant coach Dylan Boucher. Dylan, how hard is it when you travel into China almost the same day or the day before, and then you have to play in a tournament and 4 games in 5 days?
Yeah, it's extremely hard. You know, these guys have pretty much got off the plane, had a day of rest, and then straight back into it. And not only have they got off the plane, they've got off the plane of playing a week-long camp trial, and so where they've been pushing their bodies to the boundaries. You know, and right now they're expected to come out and perform on court. That's why you're seeing the rotation of a lot of players on court, and you're seeing everyone have a chance out there in the first half, and the second half will be no different.
Dylan, can I just compliment yourself and the coaching staff? I think the build-up program to September for these Olympic qualifiers is fantastic. Like, you've got the Stankovic Cup at the moment, then there's a training camp of the Macedonian Trophy, the Four Nations, another build-up camp, and then we start against Australia for that Olympic qualifiers in September. So it's comprehensive, isn't it?
Yeah, one of the strengths of the Tall Blacks is that they get good games now. We've proved ourselves on the world stage, so we get invited to good tournaments like the Stankovic Cup, and then those build-ups always help us going against Australia. We're going to be up against it against Australia. They're a very tough team, and these build-ups will take us a long way to beating them.
Dylan, in terms of resources, playing in this tournament or these sorts of tournaments expensive for the Tall Blacks, or is it the host nation tends to cover some of your costs, or how does that sort of side of it work?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, Dan. You know, sorry, Dennis. It's a little bit about.
You can call me Dan.
When you get invited to tournaments, generally it's on the host team that invites you. So for the Stankovic Cup, you know, I'm sure China basketball will be paying for a lot of that, but that also helps the Tall Blacks in their build-up to go to these tournaments. Again, not a hugely funded organisation, so they rely on these teams inviting us, and that all depends on results and how well you do at these tournaments.
And very nice of them to also put up 30,000 US, isn't it? 30,000 US prize money. So if the Tall Blacks can be successful at this tournament, then not a bad little paycheck to go into these qualifiers against Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice little slush fund for them to take home in their back pocket.
Yeah, do the boys get it, or does it all go back into the team?
I think, it'll be all sort of divided up between the team and the organisation and the players, so the players obviously have worked hard for it, so they will get a cut of that.
All right, Dylan, I'll let you grab your commentary microphone. Yes, can the Tall Blacks get back into this match against Russia? At the moment, they're trailing 47-35, and I'd like to invite Lieutenant Dan Hennessy back into the hot seat.
Well, thank you so much, Dennis. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Zhejiang, China for the Boris Stankovic Cup 2011. Positive signs from the Tall Blacks in the first half, you would have to think. Kirk Penny, Dylan, only missing one shot in that first half.
Yeah, Kirk Penny doing a great job leading from the front, and he's going to need someone else to come with him on that scoring front. If they're going to continue to bomb from the outside, they're going to need others knocking it down, the consistency that he's knocking it down at. The only people that are close to knocking it down at his consistency are all on the Russian team, unfortunately.
And ball security for the Russians has been paramount. They've had very few turnovers. So Savelyev, Gubinov, Zaystev, they've been very good, those Russian guards, with the ball.
Yeah, Russian guards done a great job feeding their big men as well. Gubinov's had a great shooting game, sitting in those corners, stretching the defence, and making the Tall Blacks have to switch, and now he's making them pay by knocking those threes down in the corners.
And again, the big man, Kasharov, took most of that second quarter off, but against the Aussies, when they won in double overtime just a short week ago, he went 9 from 9 from the field, 13 from 14 from the charity stripe, so he's a man that doesn't miss often.
No, he's a very, very polished basketball player, and who knows, we might see more of him in the second half, depending on how he goes against Alex Pledger. Alex Pledger doing a reasonably good job on him at the start of this game. So again, they may be trying to stretch the Tall Blacks with the shooters rather than with the big man in the middle.
Tall Blacks will have first use of the ball here in the second half. Kirk Penny will find Pledger. Pledger back to Penny. He goes to penetrate, and it will be stripped. Good ball movement, however, but at the last instant, it was stripped by the big man, Kasharov.
The worst possible start by the Tall Blacks, starting with a turnover again, forcing the challenge shot there.
Abercrombie puts up a three. Yes! And that is the way the Tall Blacks want to start the second half.
Yeah, Tom Abercrombie's done a great job for the Tall Blacks last year at the World Championships. Again, Kirk Penny's going to need some help, and there's no one better than Tom Abercrombie to be able to put his hand up and say, I'll come with you, Captain.
Shot left a little bit short there from Savelyev. Away comes Lindsay Tate on the run, looks to penetrate, has got one to beat, and loses the ball. Great defense there from the Russians. Another turnover for the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, 2 turnovers and a three-point shot for the Tall Blacks is not going to get it done. They've got to make sure they control the ball, take care of it, and at the same time be able to knock those threes down.
Inside it goes, nice high off the glass, great kiss, and that'll be 2 more points for Kazanov.
Kasharov got a mismatch with Tom Abercrombie on him there, took him straight inside, nice little kiss off the glass with the left hand. Mika Vicona trying to lead with the physicality, but unfortunately getting pinged by the referees, putting the hit on. Again, pretty good acting job, making it look a lot worse than what it is.
Indeed.
Is there a sniper in the crowd?
There just might be. But Mika Vakona is known for his physical play, and it will be Russia's ball here. 11-point buffer. Kasharov, hook shot. Rims out somehow. Pledger with the rebound.
Pledger's doing a great job of swallowing up all those loose boards. Would have 3 or 4 to his name right now.
Lindsay Tate,
Great
Kirk
pass.
Penny. And one for Kirk Penny. And here come the Tall Blacks in the second half.
Yeah, one of the few attacks we've had on the hoop. A great pass by Lindsay Tate, curling off the screen there, feeding Penny, going up, challenged by Kasharov, getting the and one basket, will go to the free throw line to convert the 3-point play.
And getting a foul on the big man, Kasharov.
Kirk Penny doing a great job of extending the arm there, making sure Kasharov couldn't get close to him to block the shot.
Penny will convert the 3-point play here.
Kirk Penny is definitely very focused. You can just see in his eyes there, he wants to win this game.
Left alone. That one was well short. He'll get his own rebound, however. Sinjin put it up again and in. And first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah, that's the worst possible scenario. A guy gets a wide open shot, gets an easy rebound, then comes and gets an easy shot right after it.
Kirk Penny looking for a foul that did not get it. Sinjin will bring it up here for the Russians. Gubanov.
Great defense, Alex Pledger.
Yes. Didn't get pinged with a foul either, and he will be running the... Look at this! Oh, Abercrombie!
Wow, that would have been spectacular.
Absolutely. I will say Thomas Abercrombie, I mean, he is as tough as they come.
Oh,
and look
great
at that
job.
by Pledger! Knocked the taste of dinner right out of his mouth. Fantastic stuff from Pledger. Penny looks to answer with a 3-ball, could not do so. Fast and furious, back and forth we go here. Still a 10-point buffer here for the Russians. Marty Jonas, shot no good. Lindsay Tate will scoop it over to Pledger. Pledger will find Kirk Penny, almost gets it picked off. Back into Pledger, he's all alone. He will be fouled down low.
Great feed by Kirk Penny, rewarding Alex Pledger for running the lane hard, dishes it into his big man, who draws the foul. We'll go to the free throw line, 2 free throws.
Maybe should have went right up with that right away, but collects the foul in any event. Going back to that Thomas Abercrombie play during the season, the domestic league here, he took some wicked knocks, and he just keeps on getting up. It seems the worst fall that he would take, falling out of the atmosphere onto the court, the quicker he would just get right off, right up and keep going.
There's not many better athletes than Tom Abercrombie, not only in New Zealand, but on this planet. You know, he's up there with the best athletes in the world, and you know, he's very, very good above the rim, especially with those passes. He seems to be made of rubber or something. He seems to be able to pull them in from any angle and finish them. Kasharov there again, exploiting that mismatch with Abercrombie.
Nice kiss off the glass there from Kirk Penny. And great block. Great defense from Alex Pledger. His athleticism is underestimated the world over. Pledgersaurus Rex throwing that one right out of town.
Yeah, healthy Alex Pledger right now. You know, his body feels great. He's playing some great basketball. And again, just shows you there with his athleticism, trailing the play, gets the block shot off the backboard, what we've seen so often with the Breakers.
As we see the brain trust of the Tall Blacks there, Chris Tupu, the Nelson Giants head coach, and of course Pero Cameron, one of the movers and shakers of FIBA this year. Made the All-World Team 2002 Tall Black selection. Also the championship coach, Wellington Saints, this season. Back-to-back championships for him.
Yeah, we have to remember the coaching staff didn't have a lot to go on for this game. They have never seen this Russian team play before, so they wouldn't have been able to scout them at all.
Yep.
So they're going in blind into this game.
Good shooting from Pledger from the charity stripe. Pulls it back to within single digits. 6:40 left to go here in the third. And the Tall Blacks stem the flow of scoring from the Russians, who have very high percentage shooting here in this game thus far. Savelgin, high off the glass, not to be. Abercrombie with the rebound.
Can't underestimate Alex Pledger in there, changing that shot, forcing the miss. Didn't get the block shot, won't get a statistic for it, but does a great job of making them change the shot, making them miss.
Lindsay Tate, top of the key, 10 on the shot clock here for the Tall Blacks. There's a rolling Kirk Penny. He'll come to the elbow, put up a floater. It will rim out. There's Pledger with an offensive rebound, puts it back up, and will be fouled again. Alex Pledger beginning to flex his muscles in the low post.
Yeah, Mika Vakona won't get a stat there, but he did a great job sealing off the player so Alex Pledger could come in and get the rebound. Might have got an elbow from Alex Pledger in the back of the head for his trouble.
What are teammates for, Dylan?
Something Alex Pledger's very good at. Again, Alex Pledger's come in the second half and he's really dominating the inside. He's offensive rebounds, he's getting to the free throw line, he's blocking shots, he's doing it all.
Well, this could potentially be his 4th point in a row while the time has stopped. And anytime you're behind and you're scoring points, it's a good thing. Tall Blacks definitely making a run here. Simajin.
They brought Simajin in just to try and stretch the defense a little. Not attack so much inside, but try and stretch him with the shooters on the outside.
Great work down low as Alex Pledger just almost rips the singlet off of the big Russian.
He didn't want to give up an easy shot. He came down on him pretty hard. Again, no malice in it, just wanted to stop the easy shot and probably stop him from landing on him as well. But was called for the unsportsmanlike foul.
Nelyubov going to the line, shooting 2, and let's not forget the Russians will also get possession.
International basketball, they're very, very quick to call the unsportsmanlike foul, like we saw earlier. And it purely is just to keep the game safe.
Yep.
Make sure nobody gets hurt, make sure there's no malice in the play. And right now you saw Alex Pledger guilty there of being a little bit over-aggressive.
Nelyubov, 2.07 meters, one of the taller players here on the Russian team. Will miss the second.
You know, these unsportsmanlike fouls could come back to haunt the Tall Blacks, giving 2 free throws and possession. Yes. It can really be a backbreaker. It can be potentially a 5-point play.
That is a swing the Tall Blacks do not want. 5:43 left to go here in the third. Good inside-out play by the Russians. Blocked by Pledger. Great defense once again by Alex Pledger down low.
It's probably one of the strengths of Alex Pledger's game is his post defense, which he probably doesn't get a lot of credit for.
Abercrombie was looking to make a highlight reel the world over, could not do so. And look at this, the Tall Blacks will maintain possession. Kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card there for the Tall Blacks, Dylan.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit unlucky there for not drawing the foul. Abercrombie looked like he got a little booster out of bounds, so it's probably unfortunate not to be going to the free throw line.
10 on the shot clock, Penny with the ball. And we'll just throw it aimlessly under the hoop, picked off by the Russians. They are now on the run. In the corner all day long, off the mark, gets his own rebound. Simjin, back out top it goes.
They just sit him in that corner, stretching the defense, hoping Mika Vakona helps so they can find him wide open.
Savelyev looks defeated inside, picked off by Lindsay Tate. He is running. Lindsay Tate will be fouled. He's going to the line.
This is Lindsay Tate's game, getting in that open floor, draws the easy foul. They try to foul him early, so he'll take the ball from the side rather than 2 shots. This is the intelligence of the Russian team, making the early foul, making sure he doesn't get an easy basket, making him take the ball from the sideline rather than shooting 2 free throws or getting the easy layup.
But I would like to see Lindsay do a lot more of that, penetrating with the ball, i.e. getting to the line for free throws or pinging the big Russians with more fouls, because nobody's in foul trouble at the moment.
That's right. The Tall Blacks have to put some pressure on Russia to make them pay for fouling on the inside.
Mika Vakona with a rare 3-point attempt off the mark. And I'm pretty sure you don't want Mika Vakona jaying up threes with 4:38 left to go here in the third.
Great ball movement.
Absolutely. Another 3 rattles out and not home as Leon Henry gets that rebound. Mika Vakona with it on the wing. Leon Henry goes baseline. That jaw shuts.
Lindsay Tate wide open for 3.
All day long, Lindsay, twice on Sunday from the baseline. Trifecta for Lindsay Tate.
Tall Blacks doing their own great job of stretching the defense. Lindsay Tate sitting in that corner. Everyone forgot about him. Great look by Mika Vakona to find him wide open.
Great ball movement. Simjin again throws it up and not to be. Great pass there between Lindsay Tate and Leon Henry. And we will have a foul called. And it seems like the momentum here, Dylan, just swung behind us. I felt the breeze, and it is now swinging the way of the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, that's right. Again, Leon Henry doing a great job there, pushing the ball. Leon Henry just looks so much more comfortable out there in a Tall Black uniform. And he's just pushing the ball up the floor. Nothing special, but draws the foul and just putting a little bit more pressure on the Russian team, making them have to play defense for the full clock.
Casey Frank back into the fray for the Tall Blacks. Maybe the free throw shooting let the Tall Blacks down a little bit in the first half. They have righted that wrong here in the second, as they've been shooting really well. Leon's hitting both of them. Alex Pledger hit 4 in a row.
And that's all coming from putting pressure on the Russian team on the inside. If they can continue to do that, then that will start freeing up the shooters like your Lindsay Tate on the three-point line earlier. It's
a 2-point game, ladies and gentlemen. Tall Blacks were down by as much as 12, and they have fought their way back into this one.
It's all starting on the defensive end. They're managing to get stops, get block shots, force missed shots.
Great pass, wraparound, good stuff.
Gubinoff there, being rewarded with the easy 2 points.
Casey Frank finds a rolling Kirk Penny, looking for help. He will throw it away to a Russian, and they're on the roll once again, looking to make the Tall Blacks pay with another turnover.
Great talk by Mika Vicona, switching the screen. One of the strengths of having Leon Henry in that guard spot is he's a very long, very tall defender. Can easily switch on to bigger men.
Nice shot by number 9, Nestrov Ivanov. Quickly balloons back up to 6 points.
Very small team on the court right now for the Tall Blacks.
Casey Frank hits the deck relatively hard. Ooh, little niggle there with Casey Frank and one of the Russians. Keep an eye on that.
That's unlike Casey Frank to be caught up in some niggle out there. Casey does a great job coming in for this Tall Black team, brings a wealth of experience, and he has that work ethic. You know, he leads by example from the front, and he likes to go out there and again, disrupt the other team and just make their flow a little bit harder.
And he also prides himself on getting into the other team's head, as he's done so many times on so many occasions.
Which in basketball is actually very, very important. Must be a breeze in the stadium.
Casey left that one well short. 6-point buffer here. Tall Blacks made a run at the beginning here of the third. Simjin with it, puts it up. No good. Frank with the rebound. Tall Blacks on the run. Dickel thought about it. Casey Frank's wide open. He'll pop it up. Could not get it to roll. Wondering if Casey should have popped that up right away, not gone back down. In any event, he will be fouled.
Great find by Sparky Dickel. Casey Frank mowed down one of the defenders, rolled to the hoop wide open. Couldn't quite convert the three-point play. Will go to the free throw line where he missed his last 2, so they'll be thinking that was a good foul. But Casey Frank is a very good free throw shooter, so hopefully he can make up for these 2 free throws.
Corey Webster back into the game, sharp shooter here for the Tall Blacks. Foul trouble now, perhaps starting to creep up a little bit on the Russians. Casey leaves that one short. Ivanov with a big defensive board there for the Russians. Simjin goes to penetrate. There will be a foul on the play, I believe, on Mark Dickel.
He looked a little bemused for that call. Just got caught putting his hand in there, trying to give the guy a little booster as he came off the screen to create a gap for him to get back in front. One thing about Mark Dickel, he's going to continue to keep talking and keep working hard this whole game. Every time he's on the court, even when he's on the bench, he's going to continue to make sure he's a presence and he's heard by all the other players out there.
Ivanov with it. And Casey Frank will be caught with a foul, or will it go the other way?
Yep, looks like an offensive foul. Great job by Casey Frank, sliding his feet, getting his body in front. Casey Frank looks like he's been to the same acting school as the Russian team. Does a great job selling it to the referees.
Absolutely. Red carpet stuff by Casey Frank. Very fast, tall black team on the court at the moment. Frank with it. He'll put up a three. Off the back of the iron and will bounce up and out of play.
Russians going back to the switching defense that we talked about earlier and just really catching the Tall Blacks unaware. Tall Blacks unable to make them pay for it.
Russia with the ball, 15 on the shot clock. Feed inside. Zastev trying to find the big man down low. Gubinov not to be.
8 seconds left on the shot clock to play with. Tall Blacks will look to switch defense now so they can make them force a tough shot over a contested hand.
Zastev kicks it out, 3 ball on the way. Off the back and no good. Casey Frank fights for that rebound. Away comes Corey Webster. Corey Webster 1 on 3. Slows things up smartly.
BJ Anthony missed it. He had a guard on him. Wasn't aware.
Sparky Dickel with it. BJ Anthony spins. Great move from him. Oh, and what a play from him. BJ Anthony came to play some ball tonight.
Yeah, one of his great moves is that spin move, and he does a great job on the bigger opponent. Just the hang time in the air, kissing it off the glass for a nice, easy 2. Mark Dickel went for the gamble there. He knew his team wasn't in the bonus. Tried to gamble, go for the steal, picked up the foul. It doesn't matter. They'll go to the sideline. They won't be shooting, and they're not in the bonus. But he's just told his team now, no more fouls because they're now in the bonus.
Smart foul.
Exactly. That's where that experience comes in. It's so valuable in this international basketball.
Russia try to go baseline. Around the outskirts it goes. 10 on the shot clock. And the Tall Blacks will get the ball. Good defense once again.
Great job, Mark Dickel, just getting up in his defender, forcing him to dribble off his foot. The Tall Blacks will end up with the ball.
Casey Frank to inbound here. 32 seconds left to go in the third. Tall Blacks just down by 3. We're down by as many as 12 at the beginning of the third. Have fought back here.
Zone defense by the Russian team. Tall Blacks looking a little bit unorganized.
Leon Henry pumps one up. And BJ Anthony will knock it out of bounds. Russia will get last go of the third quarter with the ball with 16 seconds left in it. The shot clock will be turned off.
BJ Anthony doing a great job on the boards. Probably a little bit unlucky not to end up with the ball after that play.
Savelyev with it for the Russians. Gubinov, no good. Leon Henry. Mark Dickel's got to put it up, does so from half court and does not convert. But positive signs, great basketball defensively by the Tall Blacks in that third quarter have brought them right back into this game against Russia.
Yeah, they're doing a great job again, starting on the defensive end, forcing them to take contested jump shots or forcing them inside and getting block shots. You know, Alex Pledges did a great job when he was in at changing a whole bunch of shots. And we just got to convert on the other end of the floor now. Again, look at that. New Zealand 9 points in that quarter. Holding Russia to 9 points in that quarter, converting 18 for themselves.
Wow, 2-1 scoring in that third quarter for the Tall Blacks. Fantastic stuff. You have to say positive signs from Leon Henry, a budding Tall Black, as well as BJ Anthony. They've really been playing well. This is the next generation of Tall Blacks coming through and looking fantastic.
Yeah, the coaching staff will be most happy about that, holding them to 9 points in that quarter. That's
Yes.
what it's all about, the defensive end.
Great play there, Kirk Penny high off the glass. Great body control when he's in the air. And there's the defense by Alex Pledger, just coming from nowhere to smack that one away. Nice. Lindsay Tate pulls the trigger without thought, gets it to go. Great wraparound pass there by the Russians. Gubinov will get to there. Good back and forth basketball here.
It is, you know, I think the Tall Blacks can be reasonably happy with that quarter. Although what they won't be happy about is the baskets they've given up have come from miscommunications and, again, not really being on the same page. And that comes from not having played a lot of basketball together over the last few months. So they'll be getting better and better each game as it goes on.
Let's not forget, in the first half as well, 2 professional fouls. The Russians scored 3 out of 4 points on that, and they got possession where they scored 2 more points. So 2 professional fouls on the Tall Blacks called in this game. Not your normal brand of tea, I suppose, but in any event, the Russians made them pay.
Yeah, it's all about adjusting to the style of refereeing. Again,
yes.
International referees are a lot different to what we're used to on this side of the world, so the players have to adjust and know that if they are going to give up a hard foul, that they are going to be pinged for an unsportsmanlike. Now, on the flip side of that, they have to do a great job of selling the fouls now to make sure they make the fouls look a lot worse than what they are, so they can get to the free throw line themselves.
Well, there is just 1 quarter of basketball left to go here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Boris Stankovic Cup 2011 from Zhejiang, China. Savelyev with it for Russia. Around the outskirts it goes. Good ball movement, could not convert. Casey Frank ends up with it for the Tall Blacks, and away comes Michael Fitchett. Corey Webster on the outskirts.
Very small lineup for the Tall Blacks at the moment.
Michael Fitchett, limited minutes tonight. Casey Frank from straight away gets it to go, and have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 56 apiece at the beginning of the 4th.
Yeah, Casey Frank's at his best when he doesn't hesitate. He caught that and he wasn't thinking anything other than shooting it.
Yes.
Does a great job. One thing he's done for this Tall Blacks over many, many years is he's shot the ball extremely well. We saw it at the World Champs last year. We're seeing it in this game today.
Gubinov might have got away with a walk there. Instead, there's a foul called, and he could have the potential for a 3-point play here. Good stuff from Golovin.
What I talked about earlier, again, it's all like a miscommunication. Casey Frank thought Corey Webster was back in front. May have got away with a travel there or a carried ball or something to that effect, but again, he's going to the free throw line to convert a 3-point play.
A rare miss from the line from the Russians. We have another quick foul called. B.J. Anthony, I believe, will be pinged with that one.
Yeah, Gubinov doing a great job on the boards there. B.J. Anthony just getting called for tying him up a little bit. B.J.'s not happy.
Savelyev inbounds. 19 on the shot clock. Savelyev goes all the way, high off the glass. Good defense, Corey Webster. Away comes Michael Fitchett. Tall Blacks looking to answer back here. Fitchett coast to coast. Will draw a foul, but a whirling dervish, Michael Fitchett, slicing, penetrating, putting the ball on the floor.
Yeah, it's not very, you're not accustomed to seeing Mike Fitchett getting in there, mixing it up on the inside, but he did a great job there, pushing the ball through the double there, going up, draws the foul, nearly converts the 3-point play. We'll go to the free throw line where he is a very, very good free throw shooter. Expect 2 from 2 here. Nelyubov
off to the bench for the Russians as the big man Kasharov comes back on to the court for Russia.
Russian coach has seen enough. He wants the big man back in there, so when little Mike Fitchett gets in there next time, that ball gets sent out to the sideline.
Fitchett will sink the first here. Again, Tall Blacks doing a heck of a job from the line here in the second half, and doesn't the Russian coach know it? Fitchett makes no mistake.
It's very rare you see Mike Fitchett miss a free throw, so great job there, 2 from 2.
58 apiece, 8:36 left to go in this game. As a lane just opens up, as wide as the ocean's there. For Golovin, he'll get 2.
A little hesitation again, causing the 2 players to have a little miscommunication of who was taking what.
Corey Webster on the outskirts. Nice crossover from him. Beautiful shot from Mika. Doesn't get it to go, but who's screaming through the low post? B.J. Anthony once again gets 2.
B.J. Anthony just bringing a lot of energy to this game. Again, misses his own shot, collects it again, goes back up, gets the 2 points.
Russia with it. That door closes. Back out they go. 10 on the shot clock. Great defense thus far. Simjin with it.
Great job,
And we
BJ
get
Anthony.
called with a travel. Will Simjin, Tall Black's ball, looking to go ahead here.
Tell you what, BJ Anthony's really putting his hand up in this game. You know, he's doing all the little things right. He's making great defensive reads, and on the offensive end, he's really attacking them as well.
Yes. BJ's got to get it in, finds Corey Webster. Corey's double teamed immediately by 2 Russians. Kick it back off to BJ, into Thomas Abercrombie. He's been relatively quiet this game. And the ball just gets batted around. Webster will end up with it. Back out it goes to Fitchett. He thought about a 3, 10 on the shot clock here for the Tall Blacks.
That's Fitchett's shot. He's got to take that shot.
He hesitated. He'll put it up now, well short, but you're right, Dylan. He had that rock, and he should have just put it right up in rotation.
Fitchett's one of the best shooters on this team. If he gets an open look like that, he needs to take that 3-point shot. Gets to the free throw line now, where he'll go and have a chance to convert 2 free throws, and again, really push for this Tall Black team closing out this 4th quarter.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, range is just a fancy word for Michael Fitchett, because it doesn't matter where he is from behind that 3-point line, whether it's 2 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, or from half court, more times than not, he'll put it down. Good game from Savelyev, point guard for Russia. A little general there, having a good night. Good ball security from that point guard from Russia. Just loses the ball. Around it goes. A messy turn of play here for the Russians. 9 on the shot clock. Up it goes. Shot no good. Who will end up with it? BJ Anthony.
That's what the Tall Blacks got to do. Got to scrap their way in this game. Keep scrapping. They want the ball dried off. BJ Anthony got the rebound, obviously put it into his chest. And, you know, he's someone who perspires a lot, so that ball will be soaking wet. Mike Fitchett wasn't happy about it. He wants a towel, dry it off.
Good call from Mike Fitchett.
Tall Blacks holding a 1-point lead now. Again, they want to stretch this out, want to get a good shot up here, and then obviously come down on the defensive end and try and force Russia into a tough shot. Make them earn every point from here on in.
Once again, fighting well above their weight, the Tall Blacks. And look at this from Webster, not to be. Shot goes up, and it will not drop for Pledger. Tough roll on that south side of the stadium all night long.
Yeah, Pledger doing a great job on the boards, but he continues to shoot that little fadeaway shot. I'd rather him just pound it in there and try and get to the front of the rim.
Simjin puts a shot up, rims out. Abercrombie with it. He's hassled by Simjin, and he'll kick it off to Michael Fitchett, the little general now. Looks like a set piece here coming up for the Tall Blacks. BJ Anthony tries a 3 off the back of the iron, and well, it will be lassoed in by Corey Webster. They lose the ball, and that is a big turnover for the Tall Blacks. Here comes Russia. Savelyev with it. Golovin puts up a long 3. Front of the rim, no go. Abercrombie with the rebound, and Fitchett will slow things up.
Got lucky there. Wide open Gubinov for the wide open 3. Wasn't able to convert. Tall Blacks will come down here, try and get a good set piece.
BJ Anthony on the outskirts finds. We've got a foul called on the play.
Alex Pledger getting guilty of putting his arms out, pushing the guy. The guy tried to go under the screen, put his arms out, knocked him back. The referee saw it, pinged him for a foul.
And geez, you could tell every possession here counts in the 4th with just a 1-point lead. Corey Webster walking off a little gingerly.
Yeah, wincing there, talking to the trainer, Claire Dallison. Obviously rolled an ankle or did something out there that's caused him to be in a bit of pain.
Russia looking to take the lead here. Savelyev is hassled, around it goes. Baseline kicked back out for a 3.
Great ball movement.
Simjin for 3, and this time he will nail it. Mark Dickel has a spot of bother under the hoop.
You just got to love that Russian ball movement, you know, extra pass, finding a wide open guy rather than shooting a contested shot.
Lindsey Tate will bring it up. I'm not sure if we've seen the best basketball from him yet, but this last past season, if that's any indication, he is on his way. Playing awesome basketball is Lindsey Tate. Pledger is hassled, top of the key. Kirk Penny with it now. Goes to the ground. 4 on the shot clock. Kirk's got to do something here with the ball. He'll kick it off to Mika Vakona. Mika puts up a long 2.
Hospital pass, you know. He wound the clock right down, gave it to Vakona with 1 second on the clock. Vakona had man on him, nothing to be able to do with it. Forced again, an unnecessary turnover. Kirk either has to penetrate or take that shot or move the ball on.
A mistake by Kirk Penny. Somebody write that down. Russia looking now to inflict a little damage here, up by 2. 4:43 left to go in the competition. Simjin with it. From the elbow, nice arcing shot. Didn't look likely, and we will have a foul called on Mika Vakona underneath.
Yeah, Kasharov doing a great job on the boards there. Just a little bit too big for Vakona. Vakona tried to use his physicality. That was right in front of the referee. Got pinged for it.
You would have to think that Mika Vakona's physical style of play doesn't bode very well with this international crew of referees.
Yeah, at times he's going to be getting caught out by being a little bit too physical, but again, when you're undersized, you have to bring the physicality. Simjin there again, another shot. This guy can flat out shoot the ball, and if they're going to continue to give him open looks, the Tall Blacks are going to be blown out in this game.
4-point buffer now for the Russians. Pledger finds Lindsay Tate, puts up a 3 off the side. Somehow, look at that athletic move by Pledger. He'll get it, but they will maintain possession, and they got that ball back because of one guy on the court, Alex Pledger.
That's right, Alex doing a great job on the boards, keeping that ball alive, giving the second chance opportunities for the Tall Blacks.
Just over 4 minutes left to go, 21 seconds on the shot clock for the Tall Blacks. Lieutenant Dan Hennessy alongside Dylan Boucher on the call tonight here. Thomas Abercrombie. Round it goes. Kirk Penny has it now on the outskirts, 13 on the shot clock. Lindsay Tate looks to penetrate. Back out to Pledger, he'll try a 3. Well off the mark. There's Mika Vakona doing what he does best with an offensive rebound. He is hassled. And we will have a foul on Kasharov.
Kasharov just getting a little bit, you know, too excited there in the corner, trying to make sure that Mika Vakona doesn't get the easy pass out. Won't be a shooting foul, just fouled on the ground, so he'll be taking the ball from the side.
3 fouls now, I believe, on Kasharov. Kirk Penny puts up a 3, not to be, and there's another offensive rebound by the Tall Blacks, and Lindsay Tate will be going to the line shooting 2.
I'll tell you what, the Tall Blacks are doing a great job on the offensive boards, but they just can't knock those outside shots down. Again, Russia have turned up the pressure a little bit, and the Tall Blacks are really suffering by missing the wide open shots from the outside. But at the same time, Kirk Penny proves me wrong by knocking one down right there.
The commentator's curse will not work on Kirk Penny. He must have heard you. As it's just a 1-point game now. Anybody's competition with just over 3 minutes left to go. This is a barn burner.
It's up to the players on the court now to understand that Kirk Penny is feeling it.
Simjin goes to the rack and draws a foul on Alex Pledger. He'll be going to the line.
Did a great job using his body, running into Alex Pledger, making the ref have to make a call, try to soft little kiss off the window with his left hand. I think Mark Dickel's been subbed into this game purely to try and get Kirk Penny some more looks. Kirk Penny's feeling it, he's feeling good, and he needs to really, really work hard to get open off the screens to get those open jump shots.
Russians at the line here. Relatively good free throw shooting team. Simjin will miss it. And look at Mika Vakona scrapping for that rebound. Will fall out of bounds with possession. Unfortunately, therefore, Russia's ball.
Lindsay Tate there got caught out, giving up the easy layup. Again, every basket right now has to be tough for this Russian team. Tall Blacks have given up too many easy looks.
Lindsay Tate to Kirk Penny, high off the glass, not to be, but who's there? Pledger with 2 more, 1-point game, under 3 minutes to go.
Great job, Lindsay Tate, penetrating in the seams, getting the little dish off to Kirk Penny. who has a rare miss, but who's there? Alex Pledger to put it back.
And the look on some of these Russian teams' faces, you think they might have underestimated the Tall Blacks? You betcha. 7 on the shot clock now. A long 3. Oh, and that could be an early dagger by Savelyev, nailing one from well downtown. Tough work.
Nenad Vucinic wants to talk about it. He's not happy about how a guy comes off the screen and gets an open three-point shot. Again, Mark Dickel probably guilty of getting hung up on that screen a little bit. His man coming off, hitting a wide open 3.
And that is a big three-point play in the context of this game. Once again, Russia 70, New Zealand 66, and tomorrow night at 11:30 our time, it doesn't get any easier for the Tall Blacks as they take on the host team, China.
You just got to get the feeling, Dan, that the Tall Blacks need to just lock in defensively for a couple of possessions here and get some stops, and then hopefully the offensive end will flow. You know, Kirk Penny is feeling it right now. Alex Pledger's doing a great job on the boards, as is BJ Anthony there. They've just got to lock in defensively, get those stops, and the offense will come.
Well, I'm sure Russia did not see the Tall Blacks coming here tonight, as they have just hung around, and here we are with less than 3 minutes left to go. And the Tall Blacks very much still in this one, especially with number 6, Kirk Penny, on the floor for the Tall Blacks. He could change the outcome of a game with one stroke. Again, this is the Boris Stankovic Cup 2011 coming to you from Zhejiang, China. First game here for the Tall Blacks in a dogfight with Russia. Under 3 to go, just a few points in it. You'd have to say some of the positives here, Dylan, for the Tall Blacks. BJ Anthony, Leon Henry, some of the younger bucks here really kind of showing their wares tonight against Russia.
Absolutely, Dan. It's good to see the young guys getting on there, improving their worth. But the result is not the be-all and end-all for this team, but at the same time, Nenad Vucinic, in close games like this, he wants to come away with the victory.
And why wouldn't you? Mark Dickel, Pledger, there's that mid-range jumper we've been talking about, and it goes down, and that's a big shot for Alex Pledger.
Great job having the confidence to take that shot. He's been pretty broke throughout this game, but he's done a great job at the end of this game, still having the confidence to be able to knock the shot down.
Just 2 points in it, and Russia loses the ball. There will be a foul called on Russia, Tall Blacks ball.
The way the referee ran in there, I thought they might have got an unsportsmanlike call. He was quick to run in to make sure there was nothing else happening there.
Great play, Lindsay Tate. Here we go. 2 points will tie it up.
Brought the sharpshooter Gubinov in. Trying to, again, stretch that Tall Black defense to be able to knock the shots down from the outside.
Yeah, Gubinov and Simjin have been stinging them from outside. And, of course, Kasharov.
Something in European basketball they do. Their big men do a great job of stepping out and shooting that three-point shot. And what it does is it really stretches the defense, makes the big guys have to go out, and it opens up the lane.
Lindsay Tate will miss the first offering from the charity stripe.
Very important free throws now going into this last few minutes of the game.
Absolutely. Lindsay will hit the second one.
All Blacks really needing a defensive stop here, making sure they play some good defense. Lindsay Tate up full court, working his man. Mika Bacona up there also.
Less than 2 minutes to go, just a 1-point game. Tall Blacks against Russia. Savelyev with it for the Russians. The general been running the point all night, doing a good job with it. Good ball security from him. 6 on the shot clock for the Russians. Savelev's got to make something happen. He'll stop, lose his footing, put up a crazy hook shot, blocked by Pledger. And will that be a 24-second violation? You betcha!
Great job, Alex Pledger. But Mika Bacona switching defense earlier, got up early, disrupted them, forced them into penetration. Alex Pledger, great switch, and then blocked the nice shot with a left-handed hook shot.
Great defense from Alex Pledger. Lindsay Tate with it now. New Zealand down by 1. Mark Dickel looking to penetrate, finds Lindsay Tate. Lindsay Tate, around it goes, back to Mark Dickel. 11 on the shot clock for the Tall Blacks. Nice feed, inside it goes, and Pledger thought he was fouled there.
Great play by the Tall Blacks, getting the wide open. Alex Pledger rolling to the hoop, turn, ran into Kasharov, and it looked like a foul from where we were sitting, but unfortunately for the Tall Blacks, the referees have swallowed their whistle and are going to send them to the timeout with Russia ball.
Wow, just over a minute to go, and the Tall Blacks down by 1 against the powerhouse of Russia. And you'd have to say, regardless of what happens here, just getting off a plane a few short hours ago and getting into an international basketball scrap against the Russians and playing this well, you'd have to say bright spots aplenty here for the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of positives to take out of this game, and at the same time, there's been quite a few defensive lapses to work on as well. So just like that one right there. So Nena Vucinic will be happy in some level, but at the same time, he still knows there's a long way for this team to go to be able to be successful against Australia in the Oceania qualifying for the Olympics.
And well, Russia, as you can see, excited at the end of the game, at the beginning of the game, when they were more matter of fact. They thought they were just going to come in here and walk over the Tall Blacks. Not the case at all. With 1:06 left to go, Tall Blacks just down by 1 point.
The last part of this game, Dan, is just going to have to be a flat-out scrap. Whatever team can scrap the hardest is probably going to win this thing. So the Tall Blacks are going to have to scrap on defense to get the ball, then hopefully come up with some polished offense, score down the other end. At the same time, the Russians are going to be trying to stretch this defense with their shooters out there on the floor and try and knock down some easy, wide-open shots.
It makes you wonder if Alex Pledger hit that last shot on the other side of the court, how that could have potentially affected this game. In any event, 1 minute to go. New Zealand down by 1. Russia with the ball. Time is on their side.
Great job, Mika Vakona.
Great job by Mika Vakona. Will they get the backcourt violation? No. 6 on the shot clock for the Russians. Kasharov goes baseline, dumps it back. And that could be a dagger by the Russians. Simjin, again, stinging them from outside, hits the trifecta, and that's going to hurt.
Yeah, wow, this guy's been on fire the whole game. What better man to get the ball in his hands? Again, Mika Vakona does a great job challenging the shot. But when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. 1 second on the clock, that is a coach killer.
Do you think he's excited? Yes, indeed.
I'm just pleased he didn't go for another chest bump like he did before. Someone might have got injured.
That was a fail. In any event, Russia 73, New Zealand Tall Blacks 69. Under a minute to go, 41.7 seconds. Again, this is the Boris Stankovic Cup 2011, coming to you from Zhejiang, China. Tomorrow night, we're on air, 11:30, where the Tall Blacks will take on the host nation, China. Make sure to come along and check out that one as well.
I think what you'll see from the Tall Blacks here is they'll try and get a well-executed play to either get a three-point shot or an easy 2, going to the hoop, or try and draw a foul. Then they'll be trying to get a defensive stop. Hopefully they'll get that shot up with leaving more than 24 seconds on the clock, and will back their defense and try and come down and win the game on the second possession.
Coach Vucinic will be throwing him into a full-court press, I would imagine, as well.
Yeah, this is an absolutely the best sort of preparation you can have on a build-up is have these tight games.
Yes.
Have scenarios where you have to practice these type of scenarios, because there's a good chance this may happen against Australia, and if you've already been through it before, then it's a great dress rehearsal.
Yes. Once again, that Oceania series coming up a little bit later on in the year against the Boomers. 3-game series. Last year, Tall Blacks took it out. Simjin, number 11, has been stinging the Tall Blacks all night long. Lindsay Tate to inbound. Finds Mark Dickel, makes a little room. Kirk Penny puts it up. Off the mark, who's there? Abercrombie with 2, looks for the foul, doesn't get it. 2-point game. And we've got a whistle here as the cheerleaders are running onto the court, and a timeout's called. Great pressure play by Thomas Abercrombie.
Yeah, great job by Tom getting on the offensive glass, getting the putback. Now again, the Tall Blacks are going to have to back their defense, hopefully come up with a stop and be able to finish the game out. Still plenty of time on the clock, 32 seconds. Anything can happen in this game right now.
So do you think an early foul is off the cards, or do you let them play it out with a 24-second clock? What would you do here, Coach?
I think what I would do is I would back our defense, make sure they play good, solid defense. That'll leave at least 6 seconds left on the clock. if not more. Probably more like 8 seconds on the clock, and that gives you plenty of time to get a shot off. And if they do convert a shot, then the Tall Blacks will be able to have another timeout. I believe Neta Vucinic does have a timeout left, and these become crucial at this stage of the game.
Well, they say that offense puts backsides in seats, but defense puts trophies into trophy cabinets. And it's all going to be backed on the defense here of the Tall Blacks here with the last few seconds left of this game. As we've seen it before, the Tall Blacks back their defense on a number of occasions. They will not go for their early foul. Let's see if they ring true to their form.
Kasharov is in the game for Russia, so expect maybe a pick and roll with him, rolling to the hoop, trying to get a mismatch on his back.
Savelyev inbounds. And it is a quick foul.
They may not be in the bonus. That may have been why they fouled. They may have taken the ball from the sideline.
Yeah, Kirk Petty knows exactly how many fouls he has to give out there with his experience. Russian coach looking a little worried. Wasn't expecting that sort of look on his face at this juncture in the game, I'm sure, but there it is. And that is another dagger here by the Russians. Crucial free throw shooting.
Absolutely. High pressure free throw shooting here.
This could make it a 2-possession game if he hits it. And it goes off the mark, so here we go. 3-point buffer for the Russians. And the Tall Blacks are looking for a 3-ball from outside. Kirk Petty with it, steps back. He's hassled. 11 on the shot clock.
Great job, Mark Dickel. Lindsay Tate had to shoot that shot.
In the corner it goes. Who's got it for 3? Oh, it doesn't go down somehow. It circumnavigates the thing. It goes up again for 3. Off the back of the rim, and that will do it. But you got to give it to the Tall Blacks. They had 2 shots to tie the game in the dwindling seconds. But wow, what an unbelievable game we just saw. Entertaining indeed. Tall Blacks versus Russia.
Absolutely. I mean, Kirk Petty had the last look at it, but Mark Dickel got a look in the corner. You know, we call it flushing the toilet. It rolled around the rim, popped out, and then great offensive rebound straight back to Kirk Petty, who had a chance to tie the game up. Unfortunately missed, but again, valiant effort from the Tall Blacks, almost stepping straight off a plane into this game.
A very valiant effort indeed. Russia 74, New Zealand 71. It's only a 3-point buffer for the Russians. They weren't expecting that, that's for sure. Savelyev, Gubinov, Zaystev, Kasharov, they all played very good games here. And, well, at the end of the day, you have to give it to Kirk Petty and some of the young guns for the Tall Blacks. They played well.
Yeah, Tall Blacks can hold their head high, like we talked about earlier. They can take a lot of positives out of this game, but at the same time, you know, there's a lot of things they need to work on, and that's exactly what you want coming out of a game like this. The coaches now will be putting their thinking caps on to how they're going to attack China tomorrow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first game of the Boris Stankovic Cup. Let's not forget, tomorrow night, 11:30, Tall Blacks versus the host nation, China. That's it for me. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, thank you very much, Lieutenant Dan. A great call as always. Dylan, I must admit at half-time when the Russians had that quite comprehensive lead, 12 points, I knew the Tall Blacks could fight their way back into it, but what a sensational third quarter from the boys. Yeah,
the Tall Blacks, there's one thing you can guarantee with the Tall Blacks, they're always going to fight to the very end, and that's exactly what they did. Unfortunately, you know, it didn't go to script for them, but, you know, had us on the edge of our seats, and the coaching staff, it gives them plenty to work on for this next game against China. That shot from Smidgen, you couldn't have asked for any better D from the Tall Blacks. Mika Vakona was all over him, he made it
as difficult as possible. And as you said, it is a coach killer. I saw our heads all drop when it went in. It was devastating.
Yeah, it kills your momentum. It absolutely does. Mika Vikoni, you're right, did a great job and got a good hand up. But again, that guy Smidgen, he was feeling it the whole game. And what better guy to get the ball in his hands with 1 second left on the shot clock? And again, he knocked it down, was in rhythm, and that's exactly all he needed. Just that one little millimetre of space.
Dylan, the positives for the Tall Blacks, there are many. One we touched on was their fight back, but also their penetration, particularly in that fourth quarter, to stay level pegging with the Russians was excellent.
Yeah, I think they did a good job of making sure that they got to the free throw line in that second half. You know, Kirk Penny was on fire from the outside, but at the same time, guys like Alex Pledger got to the free throw line, Lindsay Tate got to the free throw line, and that opens everything up from the outside for the likes of Kirk Penny. So there's a lot of positives they can take out of that game.
Yeah, so the Russians are beating the Tall Blacks by 74-71. A big game tomorrow. You probably heard Lieutenant Dan and also Dylan mention it in commentary. We play the host nation China tomorrow, 11:30 p.m. So if you can't sleep, you want to stay up, if you're a basketball fan, whatever excuse you need, stay up and watch that. It should be a fantastic game. Then Tuesday we've got Angola at 1:30 a.m. and Wednesday it is the playoff for third and fourth from 11:30, and then following that is the battle for first. So China tomorrow, different kettle of fish, isn't it, Dylan?
Yeah, playing China in China is always very difficult, and they're going to have their home fans behind them. Again, they haven't been very happy with their results leading into this tournament, so they'll be expecting big things from their star players. And you know, they got Lee Jian, who's an NBA player. They'll be making sure the ball gets through his hands a lot, and it'll be a really, really tough battle for the Tall Blacks.
Dylan, as you touched on, they had a carbon copy of this tournament the week before, except New Zealand was substituted with Australia pretty much. The Chinese didn't win a game, which you wouldn't expect from a Chinese side of that calibre in China.
No, absolutely not. China are one of those teams that they play very well in front of their home fans, and that's, again, this tournament they're going to be wanting to make up for it and show their home fans that they are ready to go into this Asian Championships, which is what they're playing for.
Yes, they're all about face, aren't they? And so they'll be extra determined not to let their home side down, or home fans, I should say, down.
Not just about saving face. There's a lot of pressure on these guys for holding their spots in this Asian Champs. So if these players don't perform, they'll be gone, and there'll be a new team in there. So these guys have got a lot of pressure on them as players. All
right, well, thank you very much, Dylan. We'll see you tomorrow night around about 11:30. Also, sport fans, look, the Bledisloe Cup just started about 15 minutes ago, so you can catch the All Blacks versus the Wallabies, and pretty much a statement of intent from both nations, so you can flick over to that. And then 9:30, big game for the Warriors. It was a freaky Friday. Both the Cowboys and the Dragons lost, so the Warriors can make the top four. That's from 9:30 on Sky Sport 2. They take on the Broncos, so good luck to the boys. Hopefully they can do that. And Dylan, myself and Lieutenant Dan will see you from 11:30 tomorrow night.